Another guide that I find really helpful for praying and fasting is this book right here. Is very good, the Manual of Indulgences. So we used to have these big books in the church of indulgences, and I'll do a whole video on indulgences later, but we had this huge thick book. But as the Manual of Indulgences says, when St. John Paul II revised all that, the easier it is to get indulgences and help people out, the less people do it. And it's true. So now we've got this simple book, we simplified it, and there's less indulgences and whatnot. But there are 4 general indulgences that the popes give us that are supposed to transform our daily lives. And I want to read to you from this book. So first, to kind of explain what these 4 are. So it says, presented in the first place are 4 general concessions by which the Christian faithful are encouraged to infuse with the Christian spirit all the actions that go up to make up their daily lives, and to strive in the ordering of their lives towards the perfection of charity, right? So we can transform our whole lives with these 4 things that the church says we should be doing all the time. And it goes on to say, I'm reading down a bit, owing to human weakness, such special acts are not frequent of these 4 that I'm going to mention. Should someone be devout and zealous enough to fill the day with such acts, he would justly merit, over and above the increase of grace, a fuller remission of punishment, and can bring in his charity more abundant aid to the souls in purgatory. So these are awesome, and these are a good place to start for what should I do for prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. And there's actually a grant that corresponds to each one. So here's the grants. I'm going to read them to you, and maybe they can help inspire you for Easter and ordinary time, prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. So the first grant is partial indulgence is granted to the Christian faithful who, while carrying out their duties and enduring the hardships of life, raise their minds in humble trust to God and make, at least mentally, some pious invocation. So when we're just living our normal lives, doing what we need to do, there's ordinary hardships, we should have something specifically that helps us think of God, okay, by pious invocation. Like, Jesus, I trust in you. Or, Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, thy kingdom come, right? And just in the middle of that, I have a phrase, or Lord, you increase and I must decrease. I use that one a lot. When something's just hard, we just should have a habit of raising our minds to God. And that's a good one for thinking what kind of prayers we're going to do. And the next grant that I want to read to you about, and it has all these Bible verses, that's what I'm flipping past to support each of these grants. And it's a really good book to read, and I'll do a whole episode on it later. The second general concession is a partial indulgence is granted to the faithful who, led by the spirit of faith, give compassionately of themselves or of their goods to serve their brothers in need. Right? So we usually think of almsgiving as just giving of our goods. We give money or something, but almsgiving is, it doesn't put goods first, actually. The church says give compassionately of themselves. So our time, talent, or treasure, we should make a specific commitment. I'm going to give this to this person of myself. And it could be goods too. The third one is a partial indulgence is granted to the Christian faithful who, in a spirit of penance, voluntarily abstain from something that is licit for and pleasing to them. So see, this is what I was talking about before, sacrifice proper. It has to be something that we voluntarily abstain from something that is licit, so legal, I can do that, and pleasing to me. I like this thing, I like watching this TV, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm going to give it up for love of God. So that's a part to think about, a sacrifice. How are we going to, a penance we could do. And then for the fourth one, and this was added recently because the popes and the church in her wisdom has said, this is something we're not doing enough, so we need to do it. So it's more recent than those other 3. A partial indulgence is granted to the Christian faithful who, in the particular circumstances of daily life, so we're supposed to do it in particular circumstances of daily life, voluntarily give explicit witness to their faith before others. So explicit witness, it's very clear to other people, and I'm supposed to be doing this in my daily life, that this is my faith. I'm giving witness to that. So yeah, that's hard for us. And that's actually why this specific grant was made, because we don't have the courage that our fathers in faith did. it's harder for us, right? Those 4 grants I hope are helpful to help inspire you on how we should, just some actions we can take during Easter and ordinary